don't curse. She don't do none of that. Girl, she got up there acting a whole monkey donkey fool.
Now, when I posted that video, remember I posted a video where she was like, I'm the only one who get on this app and don't curse. Now,
But then at the beginning, she said her moderators were underage, and she just admitted that her moderators were. That's weird. I mean, does anyone else find that weird that your moderators is underage?
Does somebody have? I'm sorry. Does someone have a headset in? Does someone have a headset or something that's causing a squeak? Oh, look at that beautiful baby.
Because I can't find my headphones, so it's probably me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it was giving very much what I have been trying, in my opinion, what I have been trying to tell people about Granny. Very much, she is a op. Okay, she is very, very much not who she presents. Queen, can you do me a favor and mute just because of the echo? She is very much not who she presents herself to be. And now I'm hearing the echo still, so I'm assuming it must be Gemini. Then I'm sorry. Oh, see, and if somebody else wants to get in on the live, send in a guest request. She is she is not who she presents. And I think we have seen that. It's been shown multiple times. I've been preaching this. I've been talking about this. I know several other Black content creators have been talking about this. It's giving very much pandering. It's giving very much, she is not here for the community that she says she is here for. This, if you guys remember, she rose to fame, dancing on this app, and then decided to evolve into this role in which she became everyone's grandmother. And by doing so, she wanted to propel herself. These are my thoughts. She wanted to propel herself into TikTok fame by being the TikTok moderator of everything, telling people what they can and what they can't do. Suddenly people are groomers. Suddenly people, are doing certain things. This is what I feel as though she is just cracking under the pressure. Queen, Danny, tell me your thoughts.
Not just even her. Skilla said he never name called you. I was literally in one of your lives where I was a co-host in one of your lives where he talked about your daughter, talked about you on top of body shaming a Black woman. He said he never did that. He never talked bad about Black women. He never talked bad about you. Just lies on top of lies on top of lies.
And you can't listen. You're never, one of the things I always say, don't invite Skull or Skittles, whatever you want to call him, on a live. He's not going to tell the truth. At this point, having him on your live is just for drama. It's just for, he's never going to tell the truth. So if you invite him and you have him on your live, just get ready to hear bull crap. Impressure, what are your thoughts?
My thought is this. Granny Cora Bundy has a lot to deal with. She does not need to be in a fight with anybody. We have an eviction coming up, honey, don't we? We have a whole eviction. I think you need to worry about that instead of worrying about what Pat is doing or anybody else on this screen. Now, I'm 54. She's younger than me. But you on here talking about you a granny. You're not a granny. You're a psychopath. That's what you are. That's what you are. You're a psychopath, and you need to figure out how you can get on somebody's pole and make that money before you be on the street. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a peace day.
And Pressure, thank you so much. You're beautiful. Thank you so much for jumping in. It's crazy to me because, you go on a live and say that you're worried about your being evicted, your home, your this, and you're fighting everyone else. You're fighting me. You're fighting I Speak. You're fighting Pat. You're calling all of us groomers, all of this stuff. And it's like, but aren't you worried about getting evicted? Here's what I think. And I want you guys to understand this because I can speak to this. Just because we have a blue check mark does not mean we are making the money. Let me tell you, if Granny Coy Bundy, had she been white and did what she did and had that overnight fame, she would have been the granny of TikTok. She would have gotten those brand deals, those things, all of that. but she doesn't get those deals. And I truly believe it is because she is Black. But I also see that because that didn't happen for her, she has to find a new niche. She has to find a way to involve herself in other things that she doesn't need to be involved in. And now you see the real woman behind the dance moves, if you will. Queen Danny, what are your thoughts?
Just not even her. Skilla's girlfriend said she never made jokes about saying blackie. I mean, I don't like saying the term, but she said in her live, I went into the live, heard her say it. She never said that either. And it's weird because Skilla snatched the phone, literally watched him take the phone from her and told her to be quiet. That's giving me narcissist vibes. I was with a narcissist. You literally snatched the phone from her. Turn the phone where you was at so she couldn't speak and tell her side of the story.
It's there's a lot of that dynamic that doesn't make sense. So when you see anybody, for me, involves himself with Skittles and Lemonade Leola, there is something going on there. And if you do that, to me, you're looking for attention, you're looking for clout, you're looking to gain. Now, you guys have to ask yourself, what does Granny have to gain? She has a lot to gain if she can start a big enough fight with the right people, with I Speak, Pat, me. These are creators. These are, and anyone from the Black TikTok community. She has enough to start a fight with, because we are not well liked on those conservative sides, right? So where does she play in? The pool that she likes to wade in is that conservative side. She plays the fence. Who's going to support her? That is who she is looking for. We're not who she's working for. We're not the community that she wants. So that's the problem. And if there's anyone else that wants to jump in on this live that heard what just happened, send in a guest request. Let me know your thoughts. Gemini Queen, tell me your thoughts.
Just lies on top of lies. Like I said, the girlfriend said hold up, give me a second.
Oh, no, Gemini Queen, real quick, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, piggyback what you were saying, that she has to start fights with you guys. If she doesn't, she's not getting the clout. Because I just be watching people lives. I don't go in any box. So I think you're the first one, really. By the way, I love you, AuntKaren. Anyway, I'll be on Pat. I'll be watching. But I see she don't have the views like you and Pat. I Speak has, and these other big folks. I think the most she may get on a good day is maybe 200 folks in it. That's on a good day. So definitely needs the clout. But yesterday she was saying that her supporters paid the rent or gave her the money. I'm just want to put that out there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But here's the thing. Me personally, if I'm facing eviction and I'm doing this, I'm not worried about TikTok. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be worried about what Pat says and trying to be the TikTok police. To try to say, okay, this girl was 19 or 20, 17. What do you have to do with it, Granny? You were worried just the other day about being evicted. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. But instead, you want to pick arguments with Black content creators to elevate your status with white content creators. And that's exactly what I believe it is. Guys, continue to send likes. I want to get us up to 100,000 likes. Please continue to tap that screen so they don't come in here and mass report. Not only that, somebody mentioned, Lucky Gems mentioned Blaze. It was the same thing. When Blaze came around, she flocked to Blaze. Anybody who's willing to talk against us, she is willing to go. And that is something you got to be careful about. Let me bring in Ote as well.
Can I say something real quick and then I'll drop?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
But it's literally lies on top of lies. Each time they prove that they're lies, they rebuttal. And he's literally in the live stuttering. That's the one. Anybody that's ever lied in their whole life as a kid, you lie. When you stutter, you lie. The whole entire time.
Well, it's like
And then,
oh, go ahead.
girlfriend, I never made jokes about black people. Lie. I was in your live. Watched it. Her with a white person there. Literally, people have screenshots of this, and that's what's bad. Like, people literally have screenshots of this.
You're not going to get, you have to understand, the reason I stopped having Leola on my live, Skittles on my live, because you're not going to get any truth. They're just here to frustrate you. Queen Danny, thank you so much. They're here just to frustrate
Yeah, I'm gonna let
you.
somebody else come through.
They're here to frustrate you, to make you upset, to get you, and it's just rage farming so they can get the views, the clout, all of that. Ote, you've been watching this, you've been seeing it going back and forth. I mean, this.
It just ceased to amaze me how she is not canceled at this point. We can cancel all these racists and everything like that, but we can't cancel because she's a black woman.
Mm-hmm,
the fact that she is defending somebody who made fun of somebody's BV, and she has the nerve to call other people all these names, but you look at her mods, and it just baffles me. It baffles me. And then I saw the live where she went off on a young black girl and said that she doesn't have the right to speak, and I'm like, but it's protect black women.
Right. But did you hear some of the words? If you guys were in that live, did you hear? And Pat didn't go there until she went there with some of the "I don't care about you," and I'm not going to say it because I don't want my live to get banned. You effing black this, you effing this, da, 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 you black. You see, what was that? That sound like if you didn't know she was black, that's white. That was a racist. That's what that was. If you hadn't known that she was black, that sounds very much racist to me. Kamikaze, what are your thoughts? Thank you so much for joining in. I don't know if you saw the live over there. Let us know.
I did. So when I was watching the whole thing, because I was in and out, but I had to get my other phone so I can watch it properly. And Princess Skittles have been lying through their teeth the whole time. Because first they said they only had one phone, but I saw they pull out a second phone. Then they said they had the documentation about Patrick on their phone, but they said, "Oh, I printed out, it's no longer on your phone." But if you had downloaded something that is pertaining to a background check, regardless if it's paid or not, it would still be in your phone as a file underneath documentations as a PDF. And then on top of that, what I found really funny is the fact that Princess Skittles decided to be a great idea to be like, "Oh, well, Pat did X, Y, and Z, and the person in question was 17. She was 8. No one. The girl specifically stated that Princess Skittle was stalking her for 2 years before she met Patrick, and then Princess Skittles decided to turn around and be like, "Oh, so you met Pat 2 years before me." Number one, they specifically said you've been cyber stalking her for 2 years, and you have a history of stalking people. Because I did a little bit of a background check myself, and certain states you can pay for a background check, others you don't. But a lot of people on TikTok itself have seen his criminal record. He has a history of cyber stalking and physically stalking people. And yes, and she also showed her ID to prove him wrong. He has been deflected for quite some time. And the thing that also is ticking me off personally is the fact that Patrick has been quiet. He hasn't been talking about anybody for a very long time. It seems like every time content creators have been very quiet, all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, we gotta bring up the drama again." And it's always towards Patrick. It's always towards you, AuntKaren. It's always towards I Speak. And then on top of that, Granny always wants to start drama, especially when nobody has been talking about her.
You know what? That's the thing. I haven't seen I Speak mention Granny. I haven't seen Pat mention, unless she had mentioned him. I haven't mentioned her, but I know if she would have saw me in the comments, she would have went off as well, trying to do the same thing. The thing is, it's all about the clout. It's all about the attention. It's all about pandering to a community. She is not for us. She showed us who she was. The problem is she has a following of young kids, and that's great for her. but it's bad and that and for everyone else, because now we're the ones who are really dealing with her. Where you see the views that she gets on her videos. She's not getting the views, so how can she do it? She has to mention our names. And please forgive me if I say this wrong. Is it Sayan? Sayonara? Sayonara? Sorry, I can't read them all jumbled together. Oh, they're gone. They said sayonara for real. And that's what I'm saying. Princess Skittles legit is nothing but a troll. I made the mistake when Princess Skittles tried to say that we slept together, that I was like, well, I'm just gonna easily prove that wrong. And their lies got bigger and bigger, and I soon realized, if you just watch this person, you know that they're lying. And what's the point of defending myself? That's why I didn't have Princess Skittles and Lion Leola Lemonade anymore. Shell Davis, I don't know if you have a TV on in the background or anything like that, my dear. If you can turn on your camera, let us see your wonderful face and give us your thoughts on what happened. If you're there.
I'm still here. I have to jump in my bed.
No, you're no problem. I always tell people, just mute yourself before you go on live if you have anything in the background, so it doesn't disrupt. Shell, what were you in the live just a second ago?
I was in the live.
What are you
earlier I was in Pat's live while I was at work, and Pat showed some receipts about Scholar, and I'm like, what's going on? But it was all about Scholar telling people to it's his thing, and it was about him hacking into a little girl's, I think, Facebook or whatever, and deleting the last conversation she had with her dad.
Yes.
And her dad had passed. And the whole thing is ridiculous because Patrick's moderator came in there and said she's only known Pat for a year. So if she's 20, she met him at 19 years old. And he's you can tell he's not educated, and he didn't probably graduate from high school, because you keep saying that, you met Pat 2 years ago. If she's 20, how is she 17?
But you have to understand, Princess Skittles is not rooted, and for those of you guys know, that's code word for Scala. It's not rooted in fact. Everything that they say is over the top. They know that they're going to be caught in lies. That's why their lies are never consistent. He said he didn't have a second phone. Then he said, hold on, I got to get my other phone because I need it for this. His lies, since she's only going after Black content creators. She claims that we are shaking our asses doing all this other stuff, and I know you guys have seen some white content creators that have really shook some ass on this app and is really not worried about the demographic of followers. Sayonara, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I don't know if you guys can hear me pretty well, but I got in right in the middle. I started recording it. I started screen recording it. But from the part that I seen, the granny woman, she was pretty mad. And I know, I think there was a Mexican guy earlier. He was saying that Patrick was talking about his 10-year-old girl, daughter, or something like that. So then, man, they were going off on each other. I personally feel like children should not be involved when adults are arguing. Children should be left out of it, obviously, man, because that kid has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter, what situation is it, So, on that part, man, I think it was, the Mexican guy, he was wrong for bringing the children into it. The granny lady, the part that kind of got to me is when she's she tried to make it sound like just because she's an older Black woman, us younger Black people have to watch our mouths when we're being disrespected. That is what kind of set me off. I wanted to say something because this ain't the freaking 1920s. You know what I'm saying, man? Like disrespect is disrespect.
Absolutely,
So,
and I agree with you. And Kamikaze, I know you have something you want to chime in on. Give me your thoughts.
No, I saw that part completely. I saw it from the beginning to the end. It was the xenophobia that had kicked in for her. Because she said, "Are you even a black African American?" Number one, we're all black. We all have the same family dynamic when it comes to respect. Where I'm from, and AuntKaren, I'm from the Virgin Islands, the United States Virgin Islands. So, though I am not classified under like the category African American, I'm still classified as African American due to the fact that I'm from the United States Virgin Islands. Patrick is Haitian. He grew up in the United States. Everybody knows no matter what you are, where you from, if you're gonna be treated just like everybody else who is the same skin complexion. Absolutely. So the fact that her xenophobia had kicked in means that one, she knows that she's doing something that's incorrect and that is disrespectful. And two, and I thank goodness, even though I don't like my that grandmother from Dominica, the one thing she has always told me: no adult deserves respect unless they give you respect first. You should respect your elders, even if they're disrespectful. But if they respect you, hold on to them because they will absolutely be behind your back 100%. So the fact that her xenophobia had kicked in so quickly, saying that you African American, you don't know who Pat's dad and mom is. You don't know if one of them is African American or not. I can honestly say that none of my family members are African American except for my brothers and sisters. But like for you to immediately be xenophobic, it's just it's a slap in the face, and two, it's disrespectful no matter if you're an adult or not.
Absolutely. And that's why it was, and thank you so much, Kamikaze Shell. Thank you so much for jumping on. It's crazy to me because when she said to him, "Were you born in the United States, or are you from African born in the United States?" I thought to myself, why on earth would you ask that of Pat? I just can't understand that. Who would ask that? Why would you think that would be an appropriate question to ask another black person? I just couldn't understand it.
yeah, I don't understand that one either.
What made me upset was that, like, for one, Scola.
Is it just Chill, or Diabla? If you can turn on your cameras for me, just so we know who's talking.
Oh, okay, my bad.
It took me a while to figure out how to turn on my camera. Sorry.
Yeah,
just because I look rough as hell. I'm just like, damn, my baby's out. I ain't get my hair retwisted or nothing. But so it's just the fact of the way they've been stalking Pat and like literally putting all his business out there. They literally was doxing his business and putting it on their live. Like Scola and freaking the Mr. Basement, the guy who lived in the basement. So freaking they've been doing that, stalking him, literally constantly talking about him, and they haven't really been putting full proof. And Pat literally been posting constantly full evident proof. And I'm like, okay. So when they get on live, it's Scola and him. Scola is going up there and saying, "Oh, well, you got a girl that's 17 that you had as a moderator," and Pat's like, "No, she's not." And he literally keep on telling Pat, "Well, we want proof. How about you get the girl to put her ID up here?" But her page is banned.
But you guys, listen, I wouldn't even go that far. We gotta stop.
That's the thing about it.
Skittles, okay? Take Skittles out of it. We don't even need to talk about Skittles. And Skittles is going to say and do whatever. And the fact that we feed into it and go, yeah, get the girl, get her ID. We don't got to prove a damn thing to that man because
That's what I was saying too.
He has lied on everybody on this app, and he is a stalker and known troll. My thing is, though, listening to what Granny said, how Granny has been treating people. What are we doing as Black TikTok, as a community, as people of color? When you look at this, does this change your opinion of Granny?
Of course. Of course. Because the killer part was she was like, "Oh, your mother's the same age as me, and you're talking to me like this, but
like
you're
that,
literally
that
degrading
matters.
this man on this live. You're being so disrespectful, and you're not even that old. You 47. What are you talking about? We know your age."
It's crazy because I started following Granny when she first came on here, and her content was always her trying to do her transitions like if she's 12. And she's always, called herself Granny and wanted everybody to call her Granny and whatnot. It was always a calm. It wasn't until her views or her numbers didn't go where they needed to be, where she suddenly created these fictitious events and moments where she suddenly was being attacked or she was being doxxed it was always something just to get the views. And I think people started to catch on to her because then she slowly started to fade away. But then when Blaze and them came up top, suddenly she inserted herself into that to make herself relevant again. So I completely
Exactly.
just, when she talks, I keep scrolling, or if I'm listening to her be repetitive, because what she's doing is, if you listen closely, she's talking about things that have already happened, have already been squashed and buried. But then she brings it back up as if it happened yesterday. I don't got time to deal with people with Alzheimer's or dementia. You're not about to have your sundown
Years
moment and
old,
bring up what
so
happened on Tuesday, on Thursday. We're not doing that. Like,
Well,
it was squashed, it was buried, move on. Like, you're trying to remain relevant. With
Yes.
Skittles and Lola, I was in that live as well too. And me personally, this is just me, I'm not a therapist, okay? I honestly believe that she's forming this thing of Stockholm syndrome, because if I have to hide in my own closet, in my own house, to be able to freely speak my mind about the man in my house being disrespectful, we got a problem.
yeah.
She hides in the closet all the time. So with Leola, I don't even take nothing she says serious anymore, because you're scared of the man that is living in your house. You
and
blah
we
blah.
and we can't even bring them into that discussion, because at the end of the
Exactly.
day, they're both, to me, professional trolls, and she's just along with for the ride. When I look at Granny, and I wanted to give you guys the example, when I first got on this app, and during the time when only JS was supposed to be working with Black content creators, I I had sat back and watched Granny coddle JS on lives, on or in messages, on her videos, and I knew right then and there that this was not someone who truly was for the Black community. I knew right then and there that this was opportunist. This was somebody who was looking for an opportunity. She saw a way to get in with a young follower. Think about it. JS has a young following. Granny has a young white following. You're not going to upset that following by going against a black person, or going against someone for a Black person. You're going to keep that going. You're going to make sure you keep that going. Sayonara, before I let you go, is there anything else you wanted to add on about this?
Not that I can think of, man. Like, all of you guys made valid points, but like, I'm gonna post that video I made. If anybody wants to see it on my page, I'll like post it later tonight so everybody can see at least like the 3 minutes of it, because it got pretty heated. Yeah, I got you guys.
I will try to post it more than likely. With the way that they were swearing, the things that they were saying,
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
won't get much from it. It's kind of one of those things, you had to be there. So thank you so much. I'm going to get somebody else up on the live here. Songbird Soprano. As Songbird gets on the live, Diabla, what are your thoughts again on how this changes, or if, because you said you followed Granny before, and are you going to still follow her after this?
No, she blocked me.
Oh, she blocked you.
She blocked me. Yeah, because that video she had just finished talking about what you said about how she says a lot of the African American women are shaking their ass, they're on here naked doing this, that, and the third. And she literally posted the most cringiest thirst trap video I've ever seen in my life, where she's in her granny robe and rollers, and all of a sudden she does that transition to some pink outfit or something in a doorway, and she's like trying to be very sexual. And I had made a comment. I said, "Oh wow, that looks familiar." That's all I said. And then she just said, "Oh, you sound like a hater," and then I've been blocked. So
Well, she
I
sound
only
like a
want
hater
her
herself.
if I
Like,
happen to be in somebody's live, and then if she sees my name, she'll comment, "Oh, she's here." I don't attack Granny, but I'm also not gonna. I've sat back a lot as just a viewer because I watch everybody's lives, but I'm not gonna sit back and be one of those enablers that's gonna keep pumping her up. And that's what she has. She has people who pump her up, who tell her, "Oh yeah, do this, do that, do this, do that." And then her being the age that she is should know better, but she does it anyways, just for the views and the clout. So I'm gonna take my 3 minutes and go watch somebody else that's worthy of my 3 minutes. I'm not giving you the platform that you're trying to get by degrading other people to make yourself feel better and to get those numbers. Where I'm not doing that.
No, and I totally agree. And Diablo, thank you so much for giving your thoughts. Songbird, what are your thoughts? Did you see the live? Did you see what was happening?
Yeah, so I saw most of the live. And for me, it was really just emblematic of what I see as kind of a big ongoing problem in Black TikTok, which is in the effort to appeal to or be adjacent to whiteness, there are a lot of Black creators who are willing to become tools of white supremacy. And what I saw from Granny was that. The xenophobia that was mentioned, bringing up Pat's ethnicity, which is just like really gross. It's like, why are we having this infighting? The demand for respect when she was literally calling him slurs and screaming at him.
But she doesn't cuss, you guys. Remember now, she does not. She's the only content creator that does not cuss. Remember that now.
Right. And that was like some of the most foul-mouthed ranting I've heard in quite a while. But I mean, the amount of deflecting that was going on, like Granny Court Buddy trying to prove that Pat was talking to Mo when she was 17, which she clearly came in and said when she admitted on live that she has 13 and 14-year-old moderators. And then had the nerve to say, like, I've never spoken to them. It's like, that's just not a reasonable thing to believe, that you have never spoken to the people that are your moderators.
No, and it's not reasonable, and because you have to say something to them. You have to say something. I had asked her before, why'd you make them a moderator? What if they just start banning every single person that came into your live? You have had some sort of trust. It may be a very thin line of trust, but there had to have been something there. And like somebody pointed out in the comments, she calls them her kids. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I've said it again. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I think wanting to get on Ellen DeGeneres, wanting to be the TikTok grandma, went to her head to the point that when it didn't happen, when that success, because listen, 3.6 million followers, you should have some sort of brand deal. You should be further than you are right now, because because you do have you did go on Ellen DeGeneres. You did. Quite honestly, if you were a white woman, I 100% believe you would be the grandmother of TikTok. But that failure and that reminder that you are just as Black as us, and just as least successful, just like the same thing with me. If there was a white Aunt Karen doing half the exposure, the things that I have brought to exposing people on this app, TV show, podcast, deal after deal, I would have.
You already have a Netflix documentary.
Netflix documentary. What I've done, and sis, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who's been slapped in the face by TikTok. I've watched TikTokers get podcasts who I don't even know why. I don't even know why some of these TikTokers get a podcast for doing nothing. And are they really changing anything? They're not. So you're not the only one who doesn't get what they think they should get at a certain mark. And we have to live with it. We have to deal with it. We're Black. We got to move on. We got to fight, and we got to make our own way. And I think Granny thought she had a meal ticket. She didn't. And now she's making sure that everyone suffers because of it.
Well, and the other thing is, the reason she got her meal ticket was by playing into pretty racist tropes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got the very Tyler Perry-esque Medea character that she decided to create. So we're not talking about a beacon of creativity. Like, there are people that are bringing true original content that comes from them that is something that's unique. I think of your channel and like so many other Black creator channels that are like, you created something out of nothing. You created something from your mind that is unique to you. She played on hundreds of years of I don't want to say this word, of a particular trope. I'm
gonna say the Mammy trope. It was the Mammy trope. Shucking and driving and jiving trope. It's when I look at it and when you it, and I understand, when you want that meal ticket, sometimes you're willing to take anything if you think it's going to get your foot in the door. And when it didn't happen, now everyone in Black TikTok who may be doing better than you, getting better views than you, who you are feeling maybe you're in competition to, just go do your dances. I used to watch, during the pandemic, when my daughter, who's 3 now, I mean, this is in 2020, when she was like 8-9 months, I would watch and listen to people on lives, and she would be in there commenting and just saying outrageous stuff, and I'm thinking, is this the same woman like dancing and doing all that? And I realized the true person, the true granny came out to play, and now she can no longer hide her in the dark. It's like you have a problem with alcohol, you may be able to just kind of hide it here and there, skate by, but suddenly it begins to affect your life, and her need for drama, her need to be involved is now affecting it. I mean, you're just saying the other day that you couldn't afford rent.
I just felt as if
there's that part.
I just felt as if Granny
the other thing.
I felt as if Granny was just being a big hypocrite at the end of the day. And it's truly anti-Black. It's anti-Black.
It's anti-Black, and she's willing to align herself with people that are dangerous to the Black community, and she's literally willing to burn Black TikTok down because she got rejected by the mainstream.
Absolutely. Pat, you were at work earlier. I'm not sure if you're at work.
Hey, Pat, your background is loud.
Okay, so he may be going to a different area to be able to speak. So we'll definitely, obviously, Pat deserves the time because this is against him. The way that she asked him if he was even born in America. I mean, you would have thought that came from a racist person.
That is literally out of the white supremacy playbook. It's literally it's a page, where are you really from?
I mean, it's like she said, white supremacy playbook. Here's a page here's literally what I'm going to utilize. Questioning his Blackness, saying that if you disrespect her, you don't respect Black women. You know what? Let me tell you something.
It's more like a gaslighting thing.
Yeah, it's a gaslighting. And not only that, Granny, you don't deserve, I'm going to be honest, you don't deserve our respect. The way that I see it, the way that I've seen things happen, I don't think that you deserve our respect.
And the way that she was literally screaming at him, and then for her to say, like, you need to respect me, while she is literally screaming at him, like, the cognitive dissonance is really problematic. Like, it's a really problematic thing to come on this app and behave that way, and then try to pretend like he doesn't stand up for Black women in every live, in every video. It's just very disingenuous. It's
Yes. And thank you so much. I do want to give Pat as much of the time as I possibly can. Thank you guys, Songbird and Just Chill. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't really care like what they said about me. Like I'm used to people calling me a faggot. Like I'm used to that. I'm bisexual. I'm used to Black women who don't like me call me that. It's a thing. It's like it doesn't even bother me the least. What bothers me more than anything is that my friend, who is 20 years old, had to sit here and prove how old she was. And then when she proved herself, I realized how sick some people are on this app. Even when the receipts are showed, they still are going to take someone's side over yours if they hate you that much. You've been going through it for 2 years. I've been going through it since December 2020. That comment section was vile.
It was.
Vile. Like, I don't care about the back and forth between me and Skylar. That's expected. He's a master deflector. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the fact that my friend had to sit here and prove that she's 20. And then this motherfucker's gonna ask me that I have to prove that my girl's 33, and then try to sit here and say that the mother of my children is 10 years younger than me. But she's 5 years older than me. That's weird. Like, what?
But Pat, you see, and I call him, instead of Skola, I'm gonna call him, Princess Skittles, just so the live doesn't get banned. But Skittles is always going to make something up and never going to have enough proof to back it. My thing for you was when Granny said that and asked you if you were even born in America.
Oh, because I'm Haitian.
Because but that was the most white supremacist tactic I could ever. I mean, like, how many people default to that? You don't expect a black person to ask you if you were even born in America, and if you weren't, as if that means you're somewhat less valid.
That's crazy.
I don't understand. This is why I look at Granny and I have to say to people, do people still value what Granny has to offer on this app? Because I got to tell you, I don't see the value. I don't see it. I don't see the value.
But is anybody going to cancel her? No. They won't even cancel Skylar, who's a serial stalker on this app. They're not even going to cancel him. No one's getting canceled. Let's keep it 1,000. No one's getting canceled. You know why no one's getting canceled? Because half the dweebs in this comment section who act like they care about you or care about me or Mo, they don't give a damn about us. We can literally be unalive tomorrow and they will continue on with their lives because they just want drama. They just want this to continue. They want it to continue so something worse can happen, just so they can be like, hey, I witnessed this happen on TikTok. This is crazy. Let me post it on my YouTube and on my page myself so I can get views off of this. That's all half of these dweebs in this comment section think about. It's
when I look at it, to be honest with you, the reason why I blocked Granny, the reason why I blocked Skittles is because I knew nothing that I said is going to be good enough. When Skittles was saying that he and I slept together, he had the most outlandish lies. And then I sat there and I said, okay, I'm going to try to disprove this. Not that I had to try, it was easy. But then I'm like, wait, why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time? Your friend had to put her whole ID out to prove that she didn't talk to you when she was underage. And it's like, we know he's not telling the truth. We know he's not telling the truth. So, no, we can't cancel people. We just got to stop talking to them because it's like, you see, like, he made a whole, shirt with my name and my face on it. And I'm just like, just to get my attention. And when I see how Granny is with that, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. I'm telling you, Granny is very bitter. She's bitter in her views. She's bitter that she can't get the views that any of us can get. She's bitter that she can't get the following. You can have a verified account. You can have almost 4 million followers, but that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of it. It doesn't mean if you can't utilize it to turn it around and actually make it mean something. How are you getting evicted one day and sit here ready to show proof on an alleged 17-year-old chat that you don't even have?
And then took a bullshit screenshot and it was clearly like seriously? Like, that's the best you have? That's not proof. Like, like her version, Skylar's version, and Shay Dotson's version of proof is mad funny to me. I actually show proof. You actually show proof, like physical evidence. And even when we show actual proof, again, people hate. It's not good enough because it's coming from us. You see, if it came from Demasia or someone else that's neutral, then people would take it serious. But because it's coming from you, it's coming from me, and people hate us so much on this freaking app. They're just going to take it to face value because they hate us. They wanted him to be right so bad. They wanted Granny to be right so bad. And then to watch them get proven wrong. boiled their blood. So you know what tactics they resorted to in the comment section? Oh, that's why you a snitch because you went to the cops. Oh, that's why you a pussy because you won't box them. I know what I'm capable of. I know if I ever see a man in front of me after body shaming my 10-year-old daughter is in front of me, there's no boxing, there's no nothing. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I see red at that point. I know what I'm capable of. I'm not boxing nobody, especially when I want the worst to happen to you. I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting my children. I'm protecting my future. I don't give a damn about impressing a bunch of nobodies in the comment section that don't pay my bills.
You know what? I think we have supporters on both sides. I think we have haters, and I think a lot of times the haters, when it's time to jump, they're ready. They're waiting. When they have an opportunity to gang up, that's what they're going to do. The worst thing for them is to be successful, and for Granny, that's the problem. She can't stand to see anybody's success. Because it's not her success. And the best way to get to really sting and make it hurt for her is to be successful and to continue to grow your platform, be verified, do things where other people aren't doing them. That's what's going to hurt. The Skittles, the Leola lemonade, the Granny. That's what's going to
lemonade. I'm weak.
That I mean, how she's just sour. She's just a sour person. She has no personality. It's like there's nobody behind. The TV's on, but there's nothing. There's nothing behind it. That's the only way. And like somebody said, the way
you see, hold on, AuntKaren. You see that Tea Sipper 22 page?
Let me go back.
You see what this? You see what? You see
yes.
what? Yeah, they're saying AuntKaren can't talk. She met up with him in person. So why are you lying on her? You see, you gotta block pages like that, man. You gotta block where your moderators at. You gotta block pages like that. You can't be lying on people like that.
Well, hold on.
You can't.
Tea Sipper has 60. Hold on, don't block them. Tea Sipper has 65,000 followers. Hop on the live.
That's a better idea. That's a way better idea.
You're saying that I met up with him? Hop on the live. Show me where that happened. Show me the proof. Hop on the live. If you're the true tea sipper, come sip some tea. Come sip some tea, sis. Or I don't know who you are. So or sir, come sip the tea. Or did you come in here looking for clout? Did you come in here looking for clout, tea sipper? Come on in.
Okay, I'll give you that. I haven't. She said, "Okay, I'll give you that. I haven't seen proof or pics of y'all together." Of course.
So what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
So are you
straight
even
coward
really
behavior?
Good? Are you even a really good tea page? Are you even? So how are you a tea page? 65,000 followers, and you
she said she would join one day. What a pussy.
You see what I'm saying?
This
is what I'm saying. This is that clout. This is that energy. How are you a tea page? You sipping tea that you ain't even put on the stove yet, honey. The tea ain't even hot. How you gonna come in here and say that I met with him, baby? You a whole tea page? Come on now, come on. Shame on you.
I have a lifetime live ban on this account. Oh, you have a lifetime live ban, please.
Oh, please. Okay, the tea is still at the store for you, honey. You ain't even got the tea. It's still at the store. You ain't even purchased it. You ain't even got it in your it's giving very cold brew. That's those kind of people. They're gonna come in. They're gonna jump. They're gonna want energy. I guess she wanted some tea for her own page, and she didn't get, and she don't got it. Those are the granny. She's probably agreed that those are the Granny Coy Bundys of it.
The tea is giving very much room temperature. Like, sis, stop. Like, sorry, bro.
Lifetime, man.
Like y'all just in the comment section playing yourselves. Like, for real. Like, y'all really playing yourselves.
You really did, and
Crazy.
You really did play yourself. It's a shame. It's a shame. If you're going to talk, what I very much have learned is that Granny hates to see success. Be successful. That's all you got to do to make her mad. That's how any hater. That's all you have to do for any hater to make any hater mad is just be successful. That's it.
What's
Yo, what's
going
up,
on,
that fam?
everybody? Nah, what's
What's up?
good?
I
What's
speak in
good?
the building.
Listen,
I speak was
listen.
like she bolted.
I Speak came in and she dipped with the
She said, all right.
quickness.
She said, I don't want to be in the same room with him.
Nah, but real talk, I just came
Mm.
up here to say, like, yo, honestly, you can't have a rational discussion with delusional people.
No.
You can't have a rat. So all when they're asking you for proof and they're coming with conjecture as proof, like it doesn't matter what you show them. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't even matter how right you are, how much of a liar you prove them to be. Them and their following live in that delusion.
Yes.
That is it. So the last time I got on live with I got on live with Blaze last time. I just clowned him. That's it. That's all you
But
can
you know
really
what?
do.
Me personally, I got so tired of people like T Sipper who came in and go, well, that's why you met with him. Did I?
Right.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof? And it's like, you
Ex-
know what? That's why it's not necessary anymore. It's not blam. Like what he was saying, people are getting scammed by you. He's doing it for the attention. Listen,
for the attention.
Granny, were you in the live with
I
Granny?
was.
What are
I
your thoughts?
was.
I mean, what I don't know if you were a supporter of Granny before, if you watched any of her content before. What are your thoughts of that?
No, I wasn't made aware of Granny until she started making these wild accusations that, what I mean, people were essaying other people. It was crazy. So I didn't know who this person was at all.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it quite interesting though, and you brought up this point on Karen when you was like, I'm the only person that doesn't cuss. I'm the only person. Her tune is switching now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the real person is coming out, not that
Mm-hmm.
facade that was created. That was an act, right?
It
She's on
wasn't.
Ellen. It was an act.
It
It was an
was.
act. So I it's just find it hard to believe anything any of these people will ever say. And then when you give them the opportunity to show and prove, nothing.
Nothing. And you know what? We need trolls. We need trolls. I'm fine with having trolls. The thing is though, for me, what I'm not going to do is give people like Skittles and Leola a platform. I get ashamed just to see them on somebody's live. I think they were on the girl who does Beef of the Week live. That's who I don't know her name. But I don't know how to say the name, and I don't want to mess it up because we're mutuals. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to mess up her name. But like for what seeing her do that live for me is so disappointing because we know
Right.
he's lying. We know
Right.
he's lying. You're not. It's a waste of her talent and her time because there really is no beef. It's really just lies. And he enjoys it. He enjoys it. Why are we giving these people, these people this energy? Don't do it because it just, to me, it brings down what you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier too, it's like the tactics that are being used are straight out of racist handbooks. It's straight from the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was your real point of asking Pat, was he born here? What was the point of that question?
And it shows how terrible of a person you truly are. Like
That's
that's when I
wild.
tell you. That's when I say it's giving very much. I didn't get a chance to be successful. And I thought this opportunity of being the TikTok grandma was going to really propel my
Yep.
career. And so
Yep.
I've became, and here's what she wants. She wants articles to be written about her. And she wants us to be the bad guy in the article. She wants more clout. We're attacking her. We're attacking her. And that's
Yep.
what she wants. That's why it's she's popping in on these lives and then she'll go boo-hoo and cry but then say she's getting evicted one day. Like this is crazy. It's not worth it. I'm glad that her and I were never, and maybe we were mutuals for like a half a second, but I'm glad that was able to see her true colors and
Right.
see that everything that I knew about her just from the way that she operated during the Only JS thing was very much true. Because there was a lot of Black content creators that were very silent on what JS did. I reached out to several Black content creators and said, hey, this is what JS did. And they were very, very silent because they didn't want to affect their brand.
That part.
And you know what? And I'll give you one of them. And this isn't to start beef. This is just be honest. I'm not trying to start beef, but if you guys want to know, you got to know the truth, right? The guy who does Sean, what is his name? Voiceovers, who has that deep voice. He does voiceovers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
The black dude with the glasses.
With the glasses, yeah, I think he has glasses.
Yeah.
He does. He does the deep. He has a very deep voice. He does voiceovers. I had asked him. I said, "Hey, listen." I came to him and to his DMs. We were mutuals at the time. Yes, S. Johnson voiceovers or something like that. I said, "Listen, what Only JS is doing. Can you help me? I know you have a great reach and blah." And his literal response to me was, that's not my brand. I don't want to mess up my brand. Yes, there we go. I don't want to mess up my brand. And so that made me realize that not every Black person, whether or not they agree or they know what Only JS and them were doing was wrong. Right. It's whether or not they wanted to mess up their money. And yes, there we go. And that's exactly what I was saying. They care more about their money than their actual brand. Than their actual community. And so I kept that because I was like, wow, okay. I respected it at the time. But the more that I've seen this app disrespect Black content creators, the more I realize that, yes, that silence really does speak volumes. And for this person who has such a large following that you don't want to speak, and I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to say, well, he just does voiceovers, he just does this, he just does it. Listen, no one is just one thing. We're not just one thing. No one is. If you're a mother, if you could be a father, you're somebody's father, brothers, uncle, cousin, whatever. You can be more than one thing. When it's time to speak up on something, it's time to speak up on something, right? Especially when it can affect you. And that's why I tie that into Granny. And when I saw the way that Granny operated, I knew exactly then that other Black TikTokers were exactly like that and will ride with that because of their coins.
What I find real interesting about all of this is a lot of these people who are, making these claims against others and trying to use drama to come up in the TikTok world. Like, you could be successful on your own already. Like, you got 3.6 million followers in a space that traditionally doesn't allow us to blossom. And you're still searching for white acceptance. And it's crazy. It's crazy. You could take your 3-point-something million followers and you could turn that into a real brand. You could turn, if your marketing was right, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you can make money off of that. I raised $65,000 on TikTok to build Bland Fam. I don't have 100,000 followers. So this idea that you have to conform and you have to be a certain type of way to be accepted, I literally got rid of all that. I said, nah, I'm gonna do me. The people who rock with that, they're gonna come. They're gonna find me. I'm gonna find them. We're gonna rock together, and there you go. We're gonna do us.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's the white acceptance that really, really bothers me on this app. But look at what it's done to Granny, right? Look at how she has turned. And boy, has the tables turned on her. It goes to show, though, once you fuck up with them, don't come crawling back to us.
Don't come back to us.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I hope that they support you the way, and they never do. They never do because they don't understand blackness. They don't
Right.
understand blackness. So they will never understand, and they will never be, you will never be able to get the full open arms that you would get from your own community.
Facts.
And that's just how I see it. I want to thank everybody for joining in this talk about Granny, about giving people the opportunity to say what they had to say. I think that live was crazy. But I think it was very informative, and it goes to show exactly who she is as a person. Now, if you
That
guys,
live,
oh, go
that I'm
ahead.
sorry, Karen. That live needed to happen.
It needed to
When I
happen.
tell you, I am very. It was messy as hell, and you're looking at the king of messy. When it comes to Black TikTok lives, ain't nobody more messy than me. Bland fan will tell. I'm messy as shit, okay? But that was beyond messy, and I'm glad that it happened. It needed to happen because people legit got exposed tonight. People
I
with
mean, we
common
saw
sense,
lives in 4K, fam. 4K, we saw
literally,
them live.
literally,
Yep.
literally,
Listen,
literally,
I know, and listen,
literally.
I recorded what I can, but of course
Nah.
you can't. Of course you
What up, my
can't
boy?
post it on TikTok. It'll just get banned.
TikTok.
So of course
Nah, I'm off.
it'll get banned on
Yeah.
TikTok. So I'm not going to be able to post it there. What I will say though is I do have. Thank you so much for the gift, Stephanie, and everybody else that sent gifts. I do have my YouTube channel up. We are finally. I have become a YouTube partner. Finally. And
Finally.
I am getting I am getting, going to be moving these videos over to YouTube. So all of my YouTube videos or all of my lives will be on YouTube, including this video. If you haven't followed me and subscribed to my YouTube, first follow me here. Go to the link in my bio, find my YouTube, or click the little camera icon and subscribe. All of my lives will be there as long as my live doesn't get banned. I will download the live and it will be there on the YouTube channel. All right, so check for this live and the other lives as I'm revamping the channel now that I became a YouTube partner and I can actually monetize off of YouTube. So help me reach up to 20,000 subscribers. I need your guys' help. I'm at 15,000 right now. So help me reach up to 20,000 subs on YouTube and go and follow me there. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much, Blam. And everybody else that joined on the live. You guys have a great night. Thank you.